everybody. Thanks for watching. It's Jordy from Seven Eagle Group. Every now and then, more often than not, I come across veterans who are just doing such cool things with their career that I'm like, I gotta get this guy on alive. And today's guest is one of those special people. He served in the United States Marine Corps as a sergeant, where he worked on helicopters. We're going to learn all about his background there. And he is a big wave surfer, which is just so cool to me. One of these absolute adrenaline junkies who goes out there and surfs these monster waves all over the world, and also runs a photography business, I think, that you've been doing for the last 6 years, called Frosty Photo, where he also photographs other big wave surfers. So we're going to learn all about that. Just a cool career. And I wanted other people to hear about this, just to know that you don't have to take a traditional career path. There's so many amazing things you can do where you're combining your interests and your passion. So please welcome Isaiah Frosty Neimann.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Honolulu, right? You're going to be in Honolulu, or you're
going to be in Honolulu? Yeah, we currently in Nebraska. Been spending some time here, just away from the ocean. Had some family things to deal with, but going back.
How are the Nebraska waves?
It's actually kind of surprising. There's a couple of waves out here if it gets super windy on the lakes.
But I'm sure you're super stoked to get out to Hawaii, where the action is. So, hey, thank you so much, Frosty, for joining us and sharing your story with our audience. We really appreciate hearing from guys like you. So, yeah, let's show some of these pictures of him. We got some photos of Frosty. Look at him. There he is surfing. Where was that one from?
This is at Waimea Bay. It's on the north shore of Oahu. They run the Eddy here every year if it gets big enough. It's a big wave surf competition that is in memory of one of the lifeguards that died trying to save somebody. I have not personally surfed in the Eddy. That would be a goal long time down the road, because it's a lot of work to get into. So
yeah. Let's see the other one. We got one of you. There you. What do you do? Underwater?
Yeah, I'm swimming with my camera, and this is out at Pipeline. A friend of mine took this for me. He's also a military vet. So we both went out and swam together a lot.
That's awesome. I love the shot. Like that's you, I assume, that's you on the back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's me and my ski driver Frank out at Jaws. Pretty good season. This was 2 years ago, so it was a great year.
And you'll go down stuff like that too yourself, waves like that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, if it's the right day and I'm not working.
I love it. I love watching the big wave guys on TV. So anyway, this is so cool, man. So let's start at the beginning, man. Talk a little bit about your upbringing and where you grew up, and what got you to join the military. What were some of those motivations?
So my dad served in the Army during Desert Storm, so I kind of always grew up with that desire to serve and give something back to my community, be part of something bigger and important. And so I joined the Marine Corps when I was 20 years old, just out of high school a little bit. And then I got lucky and I got stationed in California, and I fell in love with surfing there. I'd seen it on movies, so I was like, if I'm going to be stationed in California, I might as well try it. So I just bought a board, didn't know what I was doing, and just started surfing every day until I figured it out. And then I bought a camera too, and just I started taking pictures of other surfers just to try and figure out what they were doing. And then guys started asking me to come out and take pictures of them surfing, and I was like, okay, I can do that, no problem.
Why the Corps? Why did you said your dad was your dad in the Army? Is that?
Yeah, he was in the Army.
So why did he pressure you to go in the Army, or he said go choose what you want? Or
yeah, he was very hands off. He was like, if you want to do it, it's a good way to go. But I felt like I wanted to one up my dad a little bit, and the Marine Corps sounded like a good idea, so I decided to go there.
Good for you. And you talk about a little bit what you did in the Corps and for your MOS and stuff.
Yeah, so I was a helicopter mechanic on Hueys and Cobras, and got all my qualifications up and got lucky enough to be allowed to work on flying as an aerial observer. So I've flown around the Grand Canyon and around the Hawaiian Islands. It's been a great time. It really got
That's great. Good for you, man. And you know how to fix all the components and all the pretty much
yes,
everything on those choppers. Wow,
yeah.
good for you. And you didn't want to pursue that as a career path, after, huh?
I mean, it's definitely an enjoyable career path, but I think the thing that made it really special to me was the people and the relationships. And at this
Yeah,
juncture in life, I just don't feel like that's where I want to go. Surfing is
yeah,
kind of more important to me than fixing helicopters.
yeah. I
So
love it, man. So talk a little bit about how did the or what did you get out of serving? How did it make you into the person you are today?
surfing kind of
I
just
said
helped.
surfing. I meant to say did I say surfing? I meant to say serving, not surfing.
Oh, okay. Serving was an awesome opportunity because it really kind of opened my eyes to the different levels of education that I can get from people that are above me in command or below me in command, and being able to really build those relationships with guys from all walks of life and seeing what their learned experiences are and how I can benefit from that and how I can help them benefit and grow and just really work as a team to complete the mission.
Yeah,
That was the best thing that I ever got out of the Marine Corps.
yeah, good for you. And so you transitioned, and did you go right into starting your own photography business?
I actually started while I was in. I My command had a good enough relationship with them that they would let me take my camera out on flights and everything. So I would take pictures of us doing like shoots and
Got it.
different training exercises, and so that was a real blessing. And I just kind of tried to like pair it as much as I could. I worked at a surf shop in my off time, so I was shaping surfboards and taking pictures of the surfers there, and then going back to the Marine Corps,
Yeah,
taking pictures of those guys there. Guys started asking me to do their weddings and things, so I was like, okay, this could be a real business.
yeah.
So it
The
kind of
guys
started
must have
as a
loved.
side business.
Yeah, everyone loves a great photo of themselves, right? They must have loved having you around, and that's awesome. And so, when did the idea to transition some of the photography business into doing like stuff out on the ocean and getting the other surfers? Like, did that just come naturally, or was that always the plan?
Well, I had been working with this guy at the surf shop, and he had asked me to come out and take pictures for him, and so I started doing it for him, just as a friend to friend thing. Not a big deal, getting some practice with the camera. And then other guys on the beach, they were like, "Hey man, did you get a shot of me surfing?" So I was like, "Yeah, I did." And oh, I'll pay you for it. And then I really noticed that there were no other guys on the beach really, really doing what I was doing in California anyway.
Yeah,
So I was like, "Wow, this is a good opportunity. This is a good need." So
very cool.
it's
But
kind of
did
what I
you
picked up
didn't
on.
always have a jet ski though, right? You didn't always have someone pulling you around. Would you just go on your board
No,
with your camera, or?
no. So I swim. I wear fins, and I have a water housing for my camera, and I swim a lot of the breaks. But if the surf gets over 15 to 20 feet, you're go- you're gonna need a jet ski most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Some guys are really crazy. There's a couple of retired military girls. Uh, Krista Funk, she's a retired Coast Guard pilot, I think. Anyway, she swims like 30, 40, 50 foot waves in Hawaii. So she's
oh
she's
my god.
extra crazy.
You ever get
But
crashed on? The wave ever come on you and send
many
you
times, many
twirling?
times. Yeah.
You just hold on to that camera for don't lose that, right?
Yeah, don't lose that. That's the only thing that matters.
Oh my god. What do you like better? Do you like surfing yourself, or do you like taking the photos of other surfers?
That's a really hard one. I there's no better feeling than surfing a wave yourself, but that feeling when you see somebody else get a great wave too, and you're like, oh, I could have had that picture if I would have just had my camera. Like I feel like taking the pictures is way more of a benefit for me because I
Yeah,
love being
yeah,
able to see that memory like that I give to that other person. So
sure.
like
I'm
I
sure a
love
lot of them
that.
are like framed in the guys in their homes and stuff, and you know, that's
Yeah.
pretty. what's your plan with that? Like, can you, sell those pictures to media outlets? Can you get paid by competitions to come out and
It's a little bit of both. I haven't done any work directly with any competitions yet,
yeah,
but I did work with Red Bull over the 2020 season. They were wanted me to do some interviews for some surfers that I was working closely
yeah,
in proximity with. So I did a few recording sessions with them, and then several of my pictures have been bought by Hydro Flask for a couple of promos they wanted to run, and
yeah.
then I've been contacted by companies in Australia wanting to use some photos and things. So it's been a good opportunity.
That's awesome, man. Good for you. And what are you moving to Hawaii specifically for the surfing culture, and or is there any other reasons bringing you there?
I mean, I really love staying in the United States, so that's a big
Yeah,
draw. The best place to surf in the U.S. is Hawaii. So
it's better than California.
yeah, definitely. The culture is just really a lot more inviting if you go into it with a level of respect, and the waves are just better, the water's cleaner, weather's better.
So everything, man. Oh my God, that's so. I love the fact that you decided to sort of focus your career, at least for this time in your life, on combining this passion of yours. And you can just, the excitement sort of oozes out of you when you're talking about it. I just love that. So many veterans I see head down a different path. They feel like they got to do the traditional office job or whatever that might be, and they never explore that there are other you can make money in any career path. So what
Yes,
advice
sir.
would you have for your brothers and sisters from the military who maybe don't know what they want to do next?
Man, I would say if you're passionate about something, then just really focus on it and do the work and understand that it's not going to work the first time or the second time. But if you keep at it, you're going to hone your skills just like you did in the Marine Corps. You didn't get the job right the first time, got yelled at a little bit, but just keep pushing at it and you're going to improve and get better and you're going to inspire somebody else to do the same thing.
Yeah. And your career, like it zigzags. It takes like different directions. Like you get into doing wedding photographies, and then all of a sudden somebody sees you take a picture of them surfing, and you're like, oh, wait, there's an opportunity there,
Yes,
um,
sir.
which I love. I get so bummed out when I talk to someone and they just not excited about what they do all day. I'm like, why are you working there? Why are you working and fill in the
Yeah.
blank? And they can't give you a good reason. And I don't know. You only live once. It's like you should be so fired up to get out of bed every morning and not be somebody who says, "Oh, I can't wait for Friday so I can go drinking." It should be every day should be like that. And I'm sure it probably doesn't feel like work for you some of the time, right? I mean, there's always the
It
tough
really
parts, but
doesn't. Yeah, no,
you
I love every minute of it from getting out there and taking the
yeah,
pictures to sitting in the office for 6 or 7 hours, editing one or two photos. Like I love every bit of the process.
Charming, who's listening, just chopped shirt, chunked it with YOLO, attaboy, baby. No doubt, man. You gotta have that. I just think it's so cool when you can make a living out of your passion. A lot of people don't have that flexibility. You got to do the day job, but then on weekends or nights you're doing your thing. But when you're young, just starting out, man, just friggin' go for it, right? Like if you were my age, I'm 56, and you said, hey, I'm gonna go start a photography business and go surf. Sometimes you don't have that flexibility to do that because the bills are higher. You don't have that freedom, I guess, or that flexibility to just sort of say, I'm gonna give this thing a shot, man. Give me 3 months, give me 6 months. Let me see if I can make money doing it. And
Yeah, the time is now.
the time is now, no doubt, man. What's your vision for your career? Where you see yourself in a couple of years, in 5 years? Have you thought about any of that stuff?
Yeah, I've been kind of like rethinking different aspects, trying to learn how to use AI with with the new photography situation going on. So
How would that
that'd
work
be
using
interesting.
AI? What's it? We'll talk that through.
I'm not sure yet. I got to do some more research on it, but there are new AI opportunities out there where you can take pictures or basically photo edit like your pictures instantaneously exactly the way you want them using AI. So if you get all those kinks worked out, then it can streamline your process a lot faster, get your products done, get your production to the client. So I don't know. There's a lot of different opportunities with that.
Do you
But
see ever bringing on employees for your photo business, or are you like keeping it just yourself?
we'll see. It just kind of depends. I mean, everything is shifting away from photography and more towards videography these days. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
making a slight shift in that direction myself, which that would include, I would possibly need some employees if we start to grow the business more.
That way. Do you use like the GoPro when you're surfing and
Yeah,
filming
yes,
yourself,
sir,
or
I do.
not? You do that?
Yeah,
Take some cool photos, videos, and stuff.
at times, depends on the day. It's either cool photos or cool wipeouts.
I
So
can't imagine. I cannot friggin' imagine being on a 20, 30-foot wave and the thing crashes on you and you're on your board and you're just getting like, what's the longest you've been underwater before you can get back up?
it's hard to tell because you try not to think about the amount of time, but
Yeah.
probably like 40 seconds. So
And just like at complete mercy of the water. You can't do anything, right? To help yourself.
yeah, no, that's you just gotta write it out. Just be patient.
What
So
do they
it's a
tell
lot
you? Like,
of
what's the strategy? Just like try to calm yourself and
strategy. Number one is don't get taken out by the wave. Don't be in the wrong spot. So
stay on the beach.
in the
That's
right
strategy
spot.
one. I'll What's
Yeah,
strategy two? It's like you get absolutely smashed because even when just doing body surfing, sometimes you get some scary waves and you get crushed and you're like, oh shit, I can't get up.
just
But yeah,
well, a lot of it is training and being ready for it because it's inevitable. Like it doesn't matter how often you go surfing or how good you are, the wave is going to get you at one
it's
point or
gonna
another. It,
yeah, that's probably a good one. Like just don't think you're going to escape it. Just know it's coming, and it's just a matter of time. And
yeah,
no,
stay
that's great, man.
relaxed.
But is your board connected to your ankle with a strap or something, or no?
A lot of times, yeah. Sometimes I surf without a leash. It just kind of depends on the wave size and what board I'm using. So,
Is it
because
more
there are
dangerous
different style
to have it?
boards for different
Yeah.
waves. What's up?
But is it more dangerous when it is leashed to you when you wipe out, or no? Or is it better
It
that?
can be if the situation is big enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I mean
You
that
don't.
that goes back to like how good of a surfer you are if you can control your own board, or if you're
Yeah,
going to lose it. Like,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you lose it, you pose a threat to other people. So
yeah. That's
having a
true.
leash is probably the safest way to go if you're a beginner.
Yeah. See, look, everyone says like if I could just reach one person with my advice, I felt good about today. Like, so Rihanna Gonzalez is on, and she wrote she's getting out in about 300 days. Didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. Oh, there it is. To follow my passion. Absolutely, Rihanna. Follow your passion. Tell us what you would love to do. What would you love to do when you get out? And don't worry about the money. The money will follow if you have this excitement and this enthusiasm like Frosty does for what he does with surfing. No matter what you choose, I will show you a way to make money and make that a career, So what do you want to accomplish surfing wise for yourself? Is there any goals you have that you want to do when you move out?
Yeah, I would like to surf a couple different spots. Jaws is on my list. It's a
What's
big
that?
wave surf spot on in Maui.
I don't
It
like the name of that. Jaws. What
yeah,
is that? What is that? It's like that's where the monster waves come.
yeah, pretty much. It was like the first big wave that was ever pioneered back in the early '90s by like Laird Hamilton and a lot of those
I know
guys.
that guy. He's my generation.
Yeah, yeah, that spot's on my list. I've shot photos there plenty of times, but I haven't ventured out there to surf it yet. It's
Oh,
a very gnarly place.
Well, you are friggin' nuts, and I love talking to guys like you because it's just so fascinating to me and inspiring to see what you're doing. Please stay safe with your surfing. We want you around, and thank you so much for sharing your story today with our audience, man. I really hope, and I know this will inspire more people. Like Rihanna said, hey, I can follow my passion. I just feel you put the odds in your favor of living a more rewarding post-military career if you can combine your passion, your enthusiasm with a career. So hey, we wish you all the best. Keep snapping those pictures, post them, share them with us so we can share them with our audience. And
I appreciate it.
yeah, we appreciate you, Frosty. So be safe, buddy.
Thank you, man.